start with, I'm educated. Who are those people in this room who talk to people in the elevators, even if they don't know them, and say, hi, hello? Please raise your hands. So look around who are like you, yeah? Look around, you will see who are people who speak to you anyways. Who are the ones who have a color-coded closet? I have seen people having dark blue to light blue as well, and then white and a dark white, and the cream and the pearl. Who are those people in the room? Some hands are going halfway up, I can see them there. See, all of them are talents, we'll talk about them a bit more. Who are those people who write down things to do, which probably most of us do, but actually stick to it? There are a few. Who are those people who make things to do on the weekends? And I see some people looking at people make lists for weekends, they do. They exist, yeah? Who are those people who need to pick up someone to get better? That means if I see another school principal performing better, it pushes me to do better. I see some hands up. We'll talk about this a bit more. And we tell our children not to compete with each other and be content with what they have. We'll come back to the thought. I won't have a few in the class, I'm very sure today. I can see a laughter there. I can see a wave hand there. Fair, okay. I am one of them who pushes elevator, reminding elevator again and again, I am here. So please come down. An elevator talks to you actually and listens to you. Some hands are still going up. I can see a few there. Fair. And these are not gender-biased questions. These are strength-biased questions. If I may quickly start the conversation and understand, can someone share with me what does strength mean to you? What does talent mean to you? And what does skill mean to you? Are they all same? If they are, let me know. If they're not, what's the difference in these ones? Anybody in the room? So talent and they're interrelated. So which one is better, sir? So shall I tell my child to be talented, to be strength-oriented, or to be skill-based? Or all they all same? Can someone share one of your talents? Let's start with that. One talent of you which you are amazing at. Yes, ma'am. What are you amazing at? What are you amazing at?
I think I'm amazing at making people reach their goals. And the difference, the first question that you asked about what's talent and what's strength. Talent is something that you're really naturally good at. And if you're aware of that as your strength, then you also get to upskill yourself in that direction.
Good
Put
people,
all of them in one sentence.
Good people clap for each other, yeah? Good people clap louder. Come on, this is early morning for most of us today, yeah? Fair, okay.
And I'm assuming that clapping does not always mean ratifying the statement. It
Fair.
could be different. It could be a different view.
So can I overuse my talents? Is it possible? So if I overuse, what happens to me? Saturated? Okay, so how do you differentiate talent and strength? Is talent natural and strength acquired? Skill is acquired and strength is? Within. Fine. So let me give you behavioral answers from scientific point of it and the way they function. You're very close to it, ma'am. Talent is defined as naturally reoccurring pattern in your mind, not behavior. In your mind to start with. Some people are analytical. They will find data in everything what they look for. They do not look for mystery. They only look for logic. So if I start talking to those people with logic, I will perform better. Does it make sense? And now we identify them based on how they behave with you. However, human behavior is extremely delusional. I repeat, it's a very delusional part of life. Right now, I am showing you what I want you to see me as. And you're not doing any different with me. Am I correct? Principals agree with me? Fine. So life is delusional. We're dividing people based on how we find them delusional. Let's take an example. When I speak to people, and when I do this in a public forum, I'm considered to be rude, yes or no? And for no reason, if I do this to somebody, I'm considered to be polite. Imagine how delusional we all are. And we judge people based on delusions, and we work in education space. Strength is defined as effective use of talent. Nothing but effective use of talent. And talent is defined as naturally reoccurring pattern in your mind. We have a scientific tool which helps you understand what your natural talents are. When I was 18, I had a boss who would check for comma and full stop for everything. I thought that was success. Today I'm 45. I look for commas and full stops. I don't realize it. It is my acquired talent. That is not who I am. After a certain age, I start believing that's who I am. Another delusion to yourself. Because I'm good at it, moment I get better in a skill set, I start believing that is my strength. It may not be. Strength is first identifying your natural talents, then moving it towards making it a strength. Let's take a principal's example here. I'm dealing with a principal, extremely successful. In the UAE words, she has got A grade in everything what a school should get. One level below amazing. Yeah, not A plus yet. Great lady gets all the results. No relationships. Nobody in the school likes her. Nobody wants to work with her ever. To a level when she fell down, nobody went to even lift her. But at the work, she was brilliant. Talents are also, when overused, go against you. Her top talent was analytical. By nature, she would analyze and want logic for everything. If I overuse it, I fall down from it. First, I need to know who I am. Then I need to know where am I overdoing it, and then come back to what can I utilize it to the fullest, being my natural talent. We coached her for 6 months. We have like this more than 100 cases with names and school names there. And we see today she's considered as people's person. We didn't change nothing. We just made sure she regulates her analytical every time she talks to people. We have scientific techniques of regulating your individual talents, which brings you to a different level. We haven't changed nothing. Moment you start realizing who you are and work on it, you get 600% better returns. I want to be somebody else. When I was younger, my mom told me, you're great at this, forget about it. Do this well, I'll give you a bicycle. Got married, wife told me, you're great at this, forget about this. Do this, I'll love you more. I worked in corporate for 65 countries. Every appraisal conversation was, you're great at this, forget about this. Next year, do this, I'll give you a promotion. We are, by nature, weakness-oriented society. We focus on weaknesses and get better. And I trust me, I promise you, we have gone better. By working on weakness, we get better. But it's a choice you need to make. Do I need to invest into my natural talents and get 600% returns? Or do I focus on my weakness and achieve a percentage every year? It's a choice we need to make. Strength-based schools, strength-based life, strength-based parenting is not part of future, it's a part of today if we decide to become strength-based. Let me share a few definitions with you. Donald Clifton, the founder of the tool called as Strength Finder, which we work with different schools, principals, and in this region they call it SLTs, Senior Leadership School. Yeah. Now, you're going to see another word over here. I started with this. Talent is naturally occurring pattern in mind. And definition gets better after 5 minutes. Also in behavior, if you're aware of your talents. Yeah. So I have a younger kid, and I tell this kid, who is 9-year-old today, and he tells me, Dad, why does it always happen that he does better than me? And a usual parenting conversation will be, don't compare yourself. Life is fair. You should not look at what others are doing. Look at only what you can do better. Am I correct or wrong? And it doesn't fit, believe me. Ma'am, am I correct? Does it fit you? If I tell you as a principal, don't worry for nothing. You just do your job. Don't compare. Does it work? She needs someone to race with. Probably someone else doesn't need it. So once we realize what kids' talents are, or our SLT's talents are, we start dealing with them. So I have another vice principal. On the verge of, he was supposed to be sacked for one reason. He was not spontaneous. And the principal was extraordinarily spontaneous. Have you heard this before somewhere? I see some smiles, yeah? Principal is very spontaneous, vice principal is not. Whenever they asked him a question in the meeting, he would not be able to answer. Did not mean he didn't have the answer. We did Gallup assessment with him. His talent was intellection. By nature, they need time to think. We changed the pattern. We told principal, before asking questions in the open meeting, you tell him in advance. Things changed. Or in the meeting, tell him, look at this graph, come back to me end of the meeting, what do you think? Things changed. The moment we start investing into people's talent, relationships grow. It is being shown around the world. I feel like going to work 300% better if my boss knows my talents, if my students know my talent, if I know their talents. It becomes a strength-based organization. Yeah? Good people clap at this time usually. Okay? Fair enough. So this is in a nutshell. So I'm doing a 3-hour workshop in 20 minutes, that's my plan. Yeah? So these are natural talents people have. They are 34 in nature. Mathematical people, please calculate. After 33 million options, you will have same 5 coming back. The combination of exact 5 will only come after 33 million options. That means the moment you receive your report, the report is 1 in 33 million. It is a behavioral DNA of yours. I've had people who are older, like me, and we say, this is not my report, because they don't believe it. They want to have all the best talents. Can someone tell me which are best talents amongst these 34? Any guesses? For a principal, which are the 5 talents we should have, which will make them an effective principal? Start relationship building, okay. Ma'am, can I ask you a question? Can the answer be a bit different if I share something with you? Fair enough. Other somebody else, which is one talent you think a principal should have? Positivity, okay. I love this room. Continue, please. Yeah, somebody else? Ma'am? Which is the one talent a principal should have?
Even if I've tried to do anywhere else, I'm just coming back to looking at adaptability in situations. So I'm just trying to be fair enough to reading all the other things, but I'm coming back to where my relationship building is, because I'm just looking at all of those things to start with at a starting point.
I'm going to make you think differently, I promise you.
That's absolutely
I'm gonna
okay.
try.
Maybe I will acquire that skill over time, and you will talk about it, because But I'm just looking at it in such a way that to start with something.
Okay.
I might be teaching the most boring subject in the list that is of preference
Give me the
for
name.
children.
Give me the name of the subject, most boring one.
I'm a geography teacher. I have been a geography teacher
Okay.
for a grade 10 parent when I was teaching, and a grade 12 parent. It would have been the least important in the list of, to be seen. But the way it was being taught, they had to eat out of my hands. I had to look at it that they would look for my classes, and they would look for those classes even at the cost of giving away the maths and the sciences period, which supposed to be are the most important in terms of Indian parents, more of, and our Indian mindsets. I'm being one amongst them. So I think adaptability and being positive to start with, you can make people move mountains if you have the courage to do it. And I'm looking forward to how would you influence my thought process at this point of time so that I can change it too.
Fair.
Thank you.
Good people clap for others too, you're not just speaker, yeah? Fair, okay. Fantastic. Quickly before I come to you, ma'am, you can have the mic, she needs it. We cannot build on who we are not. We can only build on who we are. I repeat again, we cannot build on who we are not, which we are constantly trying. We can only build on who we are. And now let me ask you a question. Which is that one talent a teacher should have? It's a must for a principal to have. Please tell me. Adaptability is still your answer, right? I'll come back. Okay. Ma'am, go ahead.
Irrespective of all the things that have been mentioned here, with due respect to the answers by my co-colleagues present here, I think discipline is the thing that we will take it forward, because it is harmony, positivity, relator, context, futuristic, whatever it is. If we are not disciplined in taking that ahead and making it, then we are in a failed caricature. So discipline, I think, it is the word that will take ahead all the other things.
Can I add some value if you allow me? A lot younger than you. Yeah, little bit value can add.
Yes.
I have a classic case with me. I'll come back to the real answer as well to each of the talents. One of the biggest school in UAE, principal, by report, highly competitive, never reached any meetings on time, by nature, inherently indisciplined. Yeah, I'm coming there, but it's successful. I'll come to it how.
That's the reason I mentioned that word very particularly.
Allow me, ma'am. Allow me just seconds. Okay, we cannot build on who we are not. So the main, I'll come back to, see my hand, ma'am, 1 second. We cannot build on who we are not. It doesn't matter what talents you have. What matters, how do you use it? I repeat, this is not a selection test. It's a developmental test. It doesn't matter if I have all 5 talents in one quadrant executing and have nothing in influencing, nothing in relationship, nothing in strategic thinking. I can still be extremely successful if I know how to use my talents. If I have 1 talent in executing, 1 in influencing, 1 in relationship, 1 in strategic thinking, my profile is not balanced. It doesn't matter where your talents are. What matters is how do we use it. With this principle, we'll do a case study. We cannot make him disciplined, ma'am, period. That's the way he is not. But we cannot say I'm a principal, I'm not disciplined, correct? We have to work this out. We focus on his competition. By nature, one of his team members was very disciplined, subordinate to him. We started putting Mr. Principal, highly competitive, and Mr. X, nobody actually, but highly disciplined, for the same meetings, that's it. Now see the journey what principal has. See the journey. So he doesn't need to be disciplined, he can be competitive and bring any skill into him, if he competes with the right people. But if I give him those charts, urgent, important, important, urgent, 3 months he'll go back to himself. He is not disciplined. Nothing wrong with it. Let's focus on what is he good at, and not in academic books, but measurable book. He was going for 18% meetings on time. Today is 87% meetings. He reaches on time. What did we do? Just triggered what is he good at. He's extremely competitive. He's not disciplined, and that's okay. That's okay.
It's okay.
Is it little bit, madam, there? Makes sense? Fair? Little bit, yeah? Yes, ma'am, you want to add something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking when you said, can I look for a different
Ma'am,
answer?
can you sit, please? My legs are paining. No, please. Please बैठिए. Please, बैठिए. Madam, आ जाइए आप. Go ahead.
Yes. Looking for a different answer, when the more you speculate, the more you look deeper into it, I don't think there is a linear relationship, it's either or. Because sometimes if you have to build relationship, you have to have strategic thinking.
I like that.
Sometimes you need to be influencing to be able to build those relationships. And after the strategic thought that has come to you, you also need to be having executive talent.
So, ma'am, which is that one skill every principal should have?
Analytical skills.
Which one?
Analytical skills. Apart from positivity, I've already talked about positivity, sir.
To be able to change according to context?
We cannot build on who we are not. We can only build on who we are.
Then positivity. You showed the photograph of the football. Let me go into that. If I feel that my right kick is better than the left kick, I should focus on that and improve on my right skill rather than try to, improve on my left skill. Because, there's the famous story of a great footballer. I'm not naming anybody here. So he focused, and it was seen that out of 99 goals, 83 goals were with his left leg.
So he focused on his strength or
his
positivity?
Strength. He focused on his strength, the positivity.
Okay, I'll come back there again. We cannot build on who we are not. Whichever 5 talents you have is great. It depends how do you use it. There is no ideal set for a principal, for a teacher. There's nothing for a doctor. He doesn't have empathy, it doesn't matter. Go back again. If he has analytical, fair. Let's use analytical brilliantly what he can do.
Hello.
No job has a skill set assigned. No job has,
can I,
1 second, sir, 1 second, sir. No job has a talent set assigned. Which is the best skill out of these? Probably all. You don't know what you have right now. Once you do assessment, whatever 5 comes to you, acceptance first, utilization second, multiplying third. This is who I am. Self-awareness is the first key towards the growth of any school, for sure, leadership, otherwise as well. As a child, if I know these 3 things I'm amazing at, a parent will not water the entire field. They will just water those 3 seeds because they will grow faster. So which is the one talent which every principal should have? I love this room. You still have the answer. Tell me. I'm coming there. Yes, sir.
Sir, I am thinking harmony, because harmony, it's not only with the people and objects outside us, it's also if you are in harmony with yourself, you are also giving yourself chance over a long term to enable you to learn all the other talents and skills.
Fair? So, which is that one skill which every principal should have? Oh, positive and analytical now, huh? Both. Abhi bhi both. Okay. Fair, ma'am. Noted. Ma'am. Okay. You know I have a tough job, right? dealing with the tough minds. A maximizer, I heard maximizer, yeah.
All interconnected.
So my question is, ma'am,
everything is important.
so in your report, if you don't get the talent you just mentioned, is it okay?
No.
So in your report, Mr. Maximizer, you don't get in your talent report once you do it, and you don't get maximizer. Are you okay with that? If your report doesn't have harmony, are you okay with that? If your report doesn't have, ma'am, positivity or analytical, are you okay with that? We cannot build on who we are not. We can only build on who we are. And that can only come through a scientific assessment and saying, this is who you are. Imagine how difficult it is for me, for intellectual minds to make them understand one concept of doesn't matter what my report is. This is who I am. Let me make best use of my inherent talent than acquired talent, because my inherent talent will give me 600% better returns. Fine, so 3 people I will give away, I think, something today, just for fun. I'll get you assessment from my side. I'll get you an assessment from my side. Third person raise hand, please, done. I'll give it to you, the third person. Give me the IDs later, please. I mean it. Let me send out assessment for fun. Do it and check how does it work. Ma'am, you will have an internal laugh. You will realize, oh wow, yeah, that's why things work with me, because this is the way I am. That is 4,900 dirhams each person. That's what we generally charge. You're an organizer, you pay a lot of money, so you can pay us as well. Jokes apart, but let's do it for these 3. And we send out to each of you, if you 3 are okay, your results. And they get to see how things worked. Yeah? So, which is that one talent a principal should have? No, I still have that question. I want to make sure I'm a compulsive teacher, just like you. Abhi bhi answer hai. Any talent, if the teacher has or a principal has, doesn't matter. How does he use it is the journey. Even if he has all 5 talents only in strategic thinking, doesn't make him less executor. He should know how to use it. I go back to the example of principal, highly competitive, absolutely not disciplined. When he starts competing with disciplined person, automatically looks very, very disciplined. It is a journey where we start focusing on who we are than who we want to be. Okay. Huh? Someone there?
All-rounder.
Define all-rounder. Because definition can very differ, in life.
Should have many qualities.
Again, walks of life made. I'm joking.
Should
Go
have
ahead.
many useful qualities, that's all.
Yes, sir?
Should have many useful qualities in her
So
office.
how do you define useful? Let's consider, now I am an entrepreneur today, and I don't have, by the way, all my 5 talents, the 4 of them are in influencing. 4 talents I have in influencing, and I have 1 talent in relationship. I have nothing in execution, nothing in strategic thinking, and I don't want to have. I'm happy with what I have, and I know how to use them to get to where I want to get. Sir, all-rounder in a behavioral science is a myth. It's a myth. Oh, my child cannot, louder will do, yeah? I like claps. All-rounder is a myth itself, sir. I am not all-rounder, I don't want to be one. I want to be very good at what I do by using what I have and achieve what I want to achieve. That's probably the brief journey I'm talking about. So, last question, I hope nobody has an answer for this now. What is that one quality principal should have? Answer is, I repeat, none of them and all of them doesn't matter what the quality you think is the best. What matters is, what the report says, these are 5 qualities of yours. How to use them is the journey. There is no best quality for a principal. Otherwise, all principals would have been same. They are not. For the very reason because they use their respective talents effectively. Fair? Okay. So, this is brief, but I like this room. All right, thank you. So we go to this brief percentages. This is for analytical people who want percentages, helps them to realize. Ma'am, you're there with me. Good to see you again. Okay. So these are numbers over 90 years of research, over 2 million plus people who have done assessment with us. And these are results which speaks about how people perform better. We'll send you a copy of presentation if required. So this is what we say now. How do you work? First, you get to know what your talents are. You invest time into it. So that becomes strength. That is the individual journey. Tomorrow, entire leadership team has this. Every time I see somebody using their talent, we applaud them. We start appreciating talents. I'll give you a quick example before I close. One of the vice principals we're dealing with, he was considered to be a performer, doing very well. One of his talent was connectedness. By nature, he always wanted to be a part of something bigger than him. He did not know this. Assessment got us the results. Today, he leads 17 groups on Facebook for principals across the world and helps them to get better. Self-discovery is the journey. Sometimes we do not know where we come from. It is important we go back and grow ahead, not based on who you want to be, but based on who you are, because you are amazing. It's just that we need to accept that and move ahead. Yeah? So journey starts with talent and ends with strength. I looked a little thinner a few years back. This is my dad photograph, which you see it over here. I want to show you, time is over, I'm sure, long back. Huh? Okay, fair. So I have a next presentation quickly, few slides are there. So we did one research with one particular school, and we have results how they have been able to change the school structure, school policies, even job records. So we have a school where we have 5 schools in UAE. They all work together on strengths. And today they have realized, doesn't matter if I'm a school principal or I'm an administrator. The one lady is naturally, she's process driven. She's context and consistency. The entire school management today, before signing any contract with anybody, gives it to her. It's not a job role, but she's so good at it. She can find out what the contexts are so naturally, and she's extremely concerned in designing SOPs. She's doing it for 5 schools today. Her job elevation happened only because who she is naturally, and she's doing well today. We're talking about people, talking about strengths, living strengths, growing strengths put together. Let me show you some numbers. So we did this for a particular school. We did this for 27 members of theirs on simple 5 parameters. What we only learned was that if somebody feels they're engaged, they're better at work. It's a myth to believe if I'm happy at work, I do good job. Happiness could also mean doing nothing. I'm very happy at work because there is no job. Yeah? A lot of people are happy that way, believe me. Yeah? And I have a lot of smiles in the room today. Engaged workplace is a more important workplace than happy workplace. How many times do I have a touch point with somebody where I can talk about my strength? I can talk about my journey, my growth, me, a particular subject expertise I can talk about. This is what keeps me engaged. We help strengths as a tool to make schools more engaged than being happy. Yeah? Ideal classroom would be a teacher knows everybody's talents. Students know teachers' talents, and they function with each other based on who we are and not whom we want to be. We are publishing soon a paper in one of the biggest journals in the world. We are working on it today, very closely with Harvard School too, to check how we can make this as a business model to understand kids better. When I say business, business means educational understanding. That's what business is talking about. So we expect every child across whom we come, how do they know their talents, and map their journey for 10 years of school, and come back with the actual research of 10 years, grade 1 to grade 10, and check how they got better, because they knew themselves. So the basic age for doing the assessment for any child is 10. Cognitively, at least form 10, 11. For adult, it's a different assessment, which is after 18 to anybody else. I have taken the assessment 64 times. My talent set has not changed. It is not something which we feel good about. It is something which comes scientifically to you. Of course, unless you want to prove the test wrong and purposely give wrong answers in place, which you don't agree. So I have a question in the room. How many people believe action speaks louder than words? Oh my God. Can I request those people to rise for the occasion? At least I get to see them. How many of you believe action speaks louder than the words? खड़े हो जाइए, please, if you don't mind. The ones who can rise for the occasion. If you believe action speaks louder than words, no, I'm not asking you to stand. I'm just looking at you. I'm just looking at you. That's it. Yeah. So खड़े हो जाइए. Not always. Fair. Okay. I was told you speak for UN Forum, so I can't talk to you much there. I want to say because right there on high top. So we have, oh, you sat down? No. So in this room, ladies believe action speaks louder than words. That's what I check by numbers, yeah? I go by the academic numbers in the room. I didn't insist anybody. Okay, fair. Be seated, please. I'll tell you why. At workplace too, I won't deny not always, but I think action speaks louder. It would mean if I take one action today, whichever I do often, let's consider I write affirmations every day, for example. That becomes my action. The action turns into a habit. Habit turns into a behavior. Behavior turns into who we are, personality. So the whole journey starts with that first action. My thought before I close, if you see somebody who's actually knowing their talents and using it, take an action and applaud them. Because action speaks louder than words, believe me. Yeah? If somebody in your room you find this gentleman is great at something and is doing it well, using his strengths to the fullest, could be anybody. The moment you applaud them, it becomes easier to live a strength-based life. However, behaviors cannot deploy talents. We are sitting together, a lady comes and serves us coffee, she faints. Will you lift her, sir? Will you help her? Will you help her? Will you help her? Will I help her? Yes. Does it mean we all have empathy in our top 5 talents? After top 5, what exists doesn't exist. So if you help, I help, you help, does it mean we all have empathy in us in top 5 talents? Let's go back a bit, okay? Somebody might lift because they think the lady is heavier, others may not be able to lift, so I need to go and assist. That's here. That's a stimuli. Somebody might lift because I want to impress these two. I'll go and lift that person up. Somebody might go and lift because they want to make sure they're the first one to go and help. That's why they would go. Somebody who is naturally having empathy, I repeat, I have in my top 5 talents empathy. I may not go and lift her up if she's wearing a abaya. If she's wearing an abaya. Why? Because I cannot touch opposite gender without their consent. So me showing that behavior of not helping somebody does not make me non-empathetic. Neither it makes you empathetic by just going and lifting her up. Unless we do assessment, we wouldn't know who we are. We're just living a behavioral part of what has given us success. May not be scientific part of inherent talents. Does it make sense? Yes. So having louder, I like that. I like this session. Okay. So we are talking about behavioral science being understood by one tool called as Gallup Strengths Finder. Not just done for SLT, but also for teachers and for the students. I'm looking at building this workplace and the workplace and education space better than yesterday. Few results to share, I can send this email to you. Thank you so much. Signing off. My name is Dr. Ameya, behaviorist, and here to assist you on strength-based learning. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Allah, I said 3 times. I will still help you. None, because what matters is, when you get your report, whichever 5 have come, that is best for you. There is no best. This is not competency framework. This is talent framework. So these are not something which you want to have. You have it or you don't have it, period. So when you get your report, you realize, these are top 5 which I have got this. And you know what? Let me use it effectively now. And what do I do to get that better? That's the journey that one has. So what is the best quality a teacher should have, a principal should have? Whatever report you get, that is the best thing you could do for yourself and get better. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Sorry. Here's a question. Sumant has, so I can't talk much. Sumant, go ahead.
So these, whatever the top 5 qualities that somebody gets out of the report, is it natural or acquired?
Natural. Because, see, I'll tell you how things function. This is not an assessment, it's algorithm behind. So when you do the answering, it tells you, and best part is till date I've done 18,000 assessments. Not even one person has come back and said, this is not me. When we speak to them and understand, yeah, this is exactly who I am. We can even go up to the age of 10 and 12 and tell you what you did. And you'll be flabbergasted because that is where you were formed. After 18, talents are seized. They don't change. Only if you had a life-changing event, could be death of somebody, change of a job, crazy principal, no video, okay, something which is very different principle, or a life-changing event like birth of a child, or a different life partner. These things make you shift your talents up and down, not much, but they move, but core talents don't change. They remain same. Did I answer your question, sir? Yes. Fine. Thank you so much. Signing off. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Can we have a big round of applause for Dr. Ghanekar?